Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. This program is for educational purposes only. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences of the individual sharing their testimony. Results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. My name is Becca Dukes, and we are so excited to have you here as we are welcoming back to the show Dr. Laura Dennison. She is a naturopathic doctor who is dedicated and has a passion for guiding people towards vibrant health through natural science-backed solutions. So, folks, I hope you are ready for an amazing hour of learning because she is bringing in a topic we don't talk a whole lot about. So get your pens and be ready. Now, just as a reminder, we are a resource. We are amazing, but we are a resource for an amazing community of certified holistic health coaches. I'm super excited as I see many of their names here on the screen and the participants. And folks, this is a live Zoom. So if you would like to join us live, you're more than welcome to do so. Go to zoom.dailywithdoc.com and make sure that you have your name on the list by emailing us, zoom@dailywithdoc.com. As we're going to be changing up a few things, we want to make sure that those who want to be here with great intent have a special invitation and link to join us. So again, we are live Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific, 1 to 2 Mountain, 2 to 3 Central, and 3 to 4 Eastern. Also, if you were referred to this program by somebody specific, they are your person. They are your go-to person, the person you want to get back to and say, thank you for sharing this program with me. And if you have any questions, they're the first point of contact. If they don't know the answers, they can help refer you to somebody who does know the answers. So I just want to say a hello and shout out as we have people joining us on YouTube. Hello, Harry. Hello, AJ. Welcome, welcome. And here in the Zoom, we have a number of individuals, Barbara, Bruce, Corey, Sherry, Darlene, Donna, Kieran, Mary, Rod. Hello and welcome, welcome, welcome. So let's go ahead, folks. And I do have to say, this program is for educational purposes only. It's not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, nor is it meant to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease. But when you give your body what it needs, the body itself can do some amazing things. And that's more about what you're going to learn about today. Our specific topic, let it flow. Actually, this is the title, Let It Flow. Why a healthy lymphatic system is essential for detox and defense. Folks, the lymphatic system is one of the body's most underappreciated yet vital networks. You're going to hear more about that with the amazing Dr. Laura Dennison. Hello, Dr. Laura. Let me get you up on the screen with me. There you are. Hello, beautiful. Welcome back.
Hello. I am so excited to be back. And oh my goodness, everybody on here looks so beautiful. And It's just a beautiful day, and so I'm so grateful and thankful to be here.
Well, we're thankful to be here as well. And seeing new names, new faces come on with us just helps us know that the word is getting out, that we don't have to depend on a system that's continually keeping us sick.
Well, in the topic that we're talking about today is a lot of it's caused from our environment and a system that is, it's against us. And so I'm glad that you were able to have me do this topic today.
Well, I'm so thankful that, I mean, you gave me a list of topics and they were all so fantastic. And I'm like, wait, we don't talk about the lymphatic system very often. So let's go ahead and do that. And folks, just a note, Dr. Laura Dennison, she is a naturopathic doctor. She does take on clients and do consultations with clients. And for you that are coaches, have people that are wanting to talk with a doctor, Dr. Laura is one of our amazing doctors that we have the opportunity to have the consult for our clients. And she then sends them back to you, the coach, to help them place their order. So we just want to make sure that we have that set. And for those who are, is it in longevity already? You do a 25% discount off your consultation?
Any referral from a longevity coach, a longevity distributor, so it could even be a new client of theirs. They don't necessarily have to be already taking the products, but any referral, I give that 25% off. And so
Oh,
I do give that coupon pretty freely. So if you are hearing it, guess what? Just put the coupon in, you're going to get it.
fantastic. And you want to make sure, folks, you want to go to her website, Laura Dennison, that's with two N's, ND. So LaURADennison.com. And if you want more information, you can go info@lauradennison.nd.com. And her phone number. You want to send her a text message, 580-334-9627, but you're still going to have to go to the website. So, Dr. Laura, anything you want to add to that before we get diving deep into today's topic?
Well, I do want to say that, you guys, I love being partnered with longevity. And when I say that, you guys, we don't have to go anywhere else. And so it is a safe place when you send your people, or, because I do so many different aspects of health. It's not just supplementation. You have to have other things that, and I have a lot of natural therapies that I also suggest, and we do a wellness scan. And so we go really in deep and in depth with a client. And so, because the most important thing we want is we want to get people healthy, right? We want them to
Yes.
be that. And so that's what I take a passion about doing. And so thank you, Becca, for sharing that with me today.
Oh, no, thank you for sharing the information with us and your services. So that just helps us help others. And as we're doing that, we're just making healthier communities around the world. And that's what I'm all about. So let's go ahead and dig in with letting the system flow.
I like that whole topic because you guys, the lymphatic system is so intricate, and it's so, fascinating to me because you guys, the lymphatic system, it has sort of like little prongs, okay? And so our lymphatic system is trying to help move lymph through the body and rid your body of toxins, and also send the immune system messages to go send, to fight off defenders. And so our lymphatic system is so important, but it's the most underappreciated. And so when we have these prongs, we have to have an upward motion to move lymph. Okay. And so for people that are, don't get around much, people that are chronically sick, people that don't drink enough water, you guys, a lot of this can affect your lymphatic system. So today we're going to talk about how to have a well-functioning lymphatic system, which, your lymphatic system runs right along with your circulatory system, but it also runs right along with your detoxification pathways. And so all three are critical things to stay healthy. So why don't we talk about the lymphatic system more? Because it's so important. We don't talk about the lymphatic system until you have like a swollen lymph node, okay? And then all of a sudden you get strep throat or an earache, or that's whenever you realize that you have a lymphatic system. But you guys, it's very crucial. I was working with a client, and I can't tell details, but she has a serious condition that's dependent on her lymphatic system, and with the swollen lymph nodes, and so she's doing all these natural therapies, and things are going in the right direction for her, and it's beautiful. But she is eating for her lymphatic system, she is exercising for her lymphatic system, and she's supplementing. And so there's so many different things that you got to do, and I excited to tell you about all of it today. So let me know when you want me to share my screen, and I'll go ahead and share that, and we'll get started.
Go for it. We
Okay,
are
let's do
ready.
that. Okay. So like I said, the lymphatic system is so intricate, and it just doesn't operate without moving lymph. Okay. And so when we move lymph, okay, it has to go upward motion. And that's why there's a lot of, natural things that we can do. Let me get this on the slide. There's a lot of natural things that we can do as far as to help improve moving lymph. For instance, hot and cold treatment, going from hot to cold stimulates the lymphatic system, to move lymph. Skin brushing, okay, dry brushing. That's another way to, help manipulate and move lymph. Rebounding. You guys, I love my rebounder. I don't think I could go without it. And the reason is because I know how important it is for our lymphatic system. And our lymphatic systems are so crucial to help us to stay healthy. And so, like I said, most of the time, on our lymphatic system is until we have a swollen lymph node that we notice that there's, something wrong. And when I say something wrong, you just have extra mucus. You got extra toxins that your body can't get rid of. Okay. So when that happens, it causes a disruption, and it causes the body to become stagnant. Okay. And it sort of slows down other detoxification pathways, especially like the liver. You guys, the liver is crucial, and it's the most under talked about largest organ. One of the your skin is the largest, but your liver is second. That helps to detoxify and increase, those pathways. And so they work tandem together, and it's important to understand that, detoxification is also part of the lymphatic system. So the first thing that the lymphatic system does, it removes its waste and toxins from the body. Another thing it does is it transports the immune cells to help fight infection. And so it's also, sending the immune system signals, plus it has good bacteria, okay, that's helping the immune system. We're about to, in the United States, go into our flu and cold season. And so, we're about to go into, allergies, and the leaves are starting to fall. We're having beautiful weather here in Oklahoma. We're getting all this rain, which is beautiful. But we're about to go into this season. And so the lymphatic system is going to play a big part of your immune system. Okay. The third thing is it also maintains fluid balance by returning excessive fluid from tissues back into the bloodstream. Okay. Why is this so important? Well, you might know someone that has extra fluid that's being retained in maybe the lower limbs, okay? Extra fluid. The lymphatic system is trying to get rid of it, okay? And so without having, like I said, it works with the circulatory system as well as it works with the okay, so AJ, you already got your hand up. Am I supposed to keep going, or do you need to say something? Okay, keep going. Okay. So it works right with the circulatory system. And so with that being said, it's really helping to get rid of that extra fluid. And so that's also very important. So the lymphatic system does three things, and those three things are key and very important. Okay. So here's sort of a visual, and this is why it's so important to understand that it's your lymphatic system is over your whole body, okay? And I the first, shows the cervical lymph nodes, it shows your tonsils, it shows the thymus, which really helps with our temperature. You see how it's always, it's all around the organs and also through the circulatory system is running hand in hand beside it, okay, to try to remove these toxins. On the second diagram, you see that it really affects the immune system. You can really see where these lymph nodes, which is in the green, can affect, different parts of our body. And sometimes when we get them swelled up or they're stagnant, they're in areas that can cause, a destructive effect, okay, because, it's just going to accumulate. And so you can see that the bone marrow is affected. There's, because it's always removing those toxins, the excessive waste, working to detoxify these certain key areas that's specific, especially to our immune system. So, like I said, it's intriguing to me because you have to have, and here's a lymphatic vessel, okay? The valve is opening, it overlaps the endothelial cells, then you have the direction that's flowing up. Well, that doesn't even make sense, okay? The blood flow comes down and then it comes back up to the heart, but the lymphatic system has to have an upward flow. And so when the valve closes, and so I think of it more like, uh, you know, well, I hate to bring a snake, but that snake, whenever it eats something, it's always moving it down. Okay, think about it coming the other direction. It has to move it, but it has this movement flow. Okay, and the lymphatic system does that, and so it's always trying to, it opens it up, gets the toxins out of the system, and then it moves it up. It does this, this continually. Okay, over your whole lymphatic system. So if you have any cog in the wheel that's not working properly, you're not going to be able to remove those toxins from those areas that need to have it removed. Okay. So the lymphatic system is crucial and having clean lymph. Okay. Because when you have viruses or you don't have enough immunity, immune cells, then it causes it to be stagnant. Okay. So it's not bringing those out because the lymph is so, it's not clear and it's not vibrant because it's full of toxins. Okay, so we have to remove those toxins, and it dissipates through the detoxification pathways, which the liver, being one of those, clears out that lymph, and it helps with the detoxification. So you have to have that upward motion to have the fluid to enter the lymphatic capillaries. Okay, now to the right you can see you have your arteries. Okay, now we're talking about the circulatory system. Okay, you have your lymphatic vessel, and then you have your veins. And so this is why these work tandem together. Your circulatory system and which is, our blood supply. So we have to have clean blood to also to enhance that our lymphatic system is not getting stagnant, which is to me is, super incredible, especially whenever you look at, all over the body. Okay. And you have all these parts of the lymphatic system that are so closely related to the immune system. Your tonsils harbor good bacteria. Your tonsils are a big part of your immune system. When we get a sore throat, okay, that means that our tonsils was being overworked on having enough good bacteria. Normally, sometimes people don't have their tonsils. Okay, just because you don't have your tonsils doesn't mean that you don't need good healthy bacteria in this area to fight off the bad bugs. Okay, the lymphatic system, as you can see on the left, is right there to remove that lymph, to remove those viruses, remove those toxins. Okay, we don't discover that we have a sore throat until all of a sudden we have pain in our lymph nodes. Okay, that is associated with not having a supercharged lymphatic system, letting it flow, like our title says. You want your lymph system and your lymphatic system, you want healthy lymph, which is just like a clear fluid that gets circulatory, all throughout the system. In the lower areas, that's where a lot of times that's when we can collect fluid. And so a lot of people that have problems, we work on two things. we work on the lymphatic system to increase lymphatic flow, but we also increase the circulatory system because they work so close together, as you can see in the right. Okay, they're so close together that it's helping to remove toxins. So these are things that are very important to be aware of. Okay, and so what do we do? I mean, there's so many natural things we could do, and one of the things, of course, is supplementation. And so I want to talk about this first, but then I want to talk about foods and different therapies that we can do, because for people that know, I mean, I'm a master herbalist, nutritional consultant, holistic health practitioner. My latest, back in 2019 is my naturopathic degree, but I get really excited with ingredients. And for, Becca and AJ, they know that I get a little bit nerdy whenever it comes to the ingredients, because you guys, these ingredients are so specific. And so it helps the lymphatic system. And that's what we're talking about today. So there's, certain medicinal herbs, there's certain vitamins, certain nutrients that can help to increase the lymphatic system. But like I said, you can't out supplement a bad diet. You can't go without exercise. You have to, do different things to also stimulate that. And the lady I was talking to yesterday, I mean, she's doing everything. I mean, she's doing, because she is, in the fight of her life, especially when it comes to her lymphatic system. And so, infrared saunas, hot and cold treatments, which those are different therapies, but supplementation is a big part. But she is also not inundating her body with fried foods, gluten, seed oils, you know, dairy products that are heavy in sugar. Okay, dairy's okay, but sugar also, lowers the immune system. Sugar is actually the worst thing you could put in your body. So she's doing a lot of different things. And so, but let's go back to supplements. Okay, so the first one that I wanted to talk about is the Hope. Okay, so the Hope is a super blood purifier. Okay, so why do I have it combined with the lymphatic system? Well, the lymphatic system is necessary to keep the blood clean. Okay, can also help the lymphatic system to stay clean. Plus, you're detoxifying. So the Hope has a lot of detoxifying herbs, like milk thistle is in there. It has, sheep sorrel. It has, but it has calendula, and it also has burdock root. Okay, so when we come to parts of like the dandelion family, the aster family, it is very important for the lymphatic system. So here's what calendula does: it improves lymphatic flow, it reduces congestion, and supports the liver and the skin detoxification. Now, I want you to understand one word in there, and that's congestion. You guys, when you're just feeling a little bit off, okay, I just feel like, I'm not getting sick, but I sort of feel like I might get sick. Go stimulate your lymphatic system. You guys, you're congested in your body without the coughs and the sneezing and all that kind of stuff. You're just feeling a little bit off. Well, you need to clean your stagnant, congested lymphatic system. Okay, so one of the herbs that does that is the burdock root, which is in the Hope product. Another one that is, the calendula, and then another one is the burdock root. It is also acts as a blood purifier, but supports detoxification through the lymphatic system. When you have a healthy detoxification pathway, okay, which our lungs is a detoxification pathway, our skin is a detoxification pathway, our liver is a detoxification pathway. It is taking toxins and trying to push it through the lymphatic system and actually have it dissipate. So it's important to have both of them run together, okay, your detoxification organs, okay, with the lymphatic system. And so both of those are very important. So burdock root really works for that. And also the calendula, which is beautiful. Ginger is also an ingredient that's in the Hope product. It helps to improve circulation, improves inflammation, and enhances lymphatic flow. So, so there's a lot of, the Hope is a super blood purifier, but it's working, like I said, together with the lymphatic system, which is beautiful. Another product from a new, if you're familiar with longevity, I hope that you will get with the person that brought you here or get with a health coach that's on here because you guys, longevity is the one-stop shop. Okay. And we just brought over a company called Life Force and longevity did. And they have a lot of immunity building products. But one of these that I'm super excited about is the Tahibo. Okay, Tahibo is got the Paw de Arco um, in it, and that's all it has, which is amazing. Okay, this is a medicinal herb that is so powerful for the immune system, but also for the lymphatic system, and it's in a tincture, which I like capsules and tinctures. For medicinal herbs, and this is in a tincture. But the benefits is natural antifungal. It's an immune booster, but it aids with lymphatic detoxification. So it's an incredible product to help you do that. And all of these I have on the screen here can be taken together, you guys, especially if you're, I mean, none of these are overlapping ingredients. That's what's super cool. And that's where I get a little bit excited because like I said, I love ingredients. And so, but we got the good herbs. The next product, it is specifically for lymphatic health. But like I said, it doesn't overlap any ingredients. It's got Oregon grape root, which is a beautiful ingredient. I have that also in my Stay Clear product with the Sta-Natural line, but I didn't focus it on here. But it's got Oregon grape root. It's got the mullein leaf. You guys, mullein leaf, especially for congestion, is beautiful. I mean, I love to harvest, the mullein leaf. I mean, a lot of people, will go and harvest it, and it's really good for colds, flus, different things like that. But you don't have to do that. It's in the lymphatic health. We don't have to do that. I just do it for fun because I know I'm going to take the lymphatic health supportive product from the Good Herbs line. Okay. But it has, several ingredients, medicinal herbs that helps with the lymphatic flow. Let it flow. Okay. No more congestion. When I say that, will this keep you from being sick? No. Okay. There's other factors that goes into that. But why not have a supercharged lymphatic system? Okay. And that's what I'm talking about. These are going to increase your lymphatic flow. Okay. Which is important. Z radical is another super blood purifier. It does other things. It also has anti-inflammatory benefits to it. But it has a lot of the super C products, which, vitamin C is crucial whenever it comes to the lymphatic system, which is also incredible whenever it comes to that. And so Z Radical is another, great product to help us with that. Sta-Young is also a super product to help. It's stronger than vitamin C. Okay, it's got citrus bioflavonoids, hesperidine complex. Both of those are combined to be stronger than vitamin C. And I'm sure for everybody that's on here, okay, what's the first thing we run to whenever we start getting sniffles? And we go get our vitamin C. We've been taught that as kids. We go eat an orange or whatever it is. We've been taught that. Okay, so it is true. Vitamin C does so many things, but I like getting it from instead of taking a vitamin C tablet, I like getting it from the actual sources of the vitamin C, and that's where that citrus bioflavonoids and the hesperidine complex, which the hesperidine complex is when you have your orange or your lemon or your lime. Okay, you have the outer rind, which we get the extracts, the citrus bioflavonoids from, but the inner pith of the white part is the hesperidine. Okay, that's actually the pith of the fruit is where we get hesperidine. And so my sister, I guess I'm going to tell her, she would always eat the rinds of the oranges and the lemons. I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, I don't know. I like it. And she was probably deficient in vitamin C, and her body was naturally having her do that. But I don't remember her getting sick very often. And so I don't recommend, you don't have to go eat, the rinds of a fruit, but you can Sta-Young, and you're getting, the same, but you're getting an instruction. So, Sta-Young is a super antioxidant. You guys, antioxidants fight free radicals, which free radicals are, um, you know, the environment that we live in, we can't get away from things that come into our bloodstream, okay, that shouldn't be there. And so free radicals, when you take an antioxidant, which these next two products, the Sta-Young and the Cell Shield RTQ, these are two powerhouse, not duplicating ingredients. Like I said, you can take them together, but they're super powerhouses whenever it comes to fighting those free radicals. I mean, it is amazing. And so you have to think of it like a Pac-Man, that goes in and it just gobbles up all those foreign things that's in the bloodstream. Okay. Well, back to lymphatic health. Okay. It's also doing the same thing. It's trying to keep the lymph clean and pure. And so whenever your body is faced with some invader, because that's what the lymphatic system also does, is it sends the immune system the right cells, to defend itself from these foreign bacterias, foreign, uh, you know, fungi, or whatever the foreign matter is going to defend it. Okay, so when you have super antioxidants, that also helps to have a clean running machine. And so the Stay Young, the Cell Shield RTQ, which the Cell Shield RTQ has also, like, the Japanese knotweed. It has rhodiola, which is an adaptogen. I mean, it's just another beautiful product that I like. But these are my top ones specifically. Now, if you're joining me, I'm not telling you these are our vitamins and minerals and our 90 essential nutrients. Absolutely not. You take your 90 essential nutrients, okay, which is our key products. It still is giving you a functioning immune system, and it's helping you with your lymphatic system, because this is such amazing products. But these are extra ones that you can add to it to have, just a really, I just think about Tron. I don't know why that came to my mind. I really don't think about Tron, but I think about him, and when he had to fight, and he had on this metal, and he had on this all this gear, and he could fight off anything, or even like Wonder Woman. She was just batting. She could fight off anything, lasers. Spider Man. All that kind of thing. I want to have a superhero immune system, lymphatic system, and detoxification system. Because then whenever I go outside, I don't have to worry about what I'm coming in contact with, because I have this strong immune system. I have the strong lymphatic system. I have the strong detoxification pathway. Knock on wood, I cannot remember the last time I got sick. I'm not saying you're not going to get sick. I'm just saying, let's be that Wonder Woman. Let's be Superman. Let's do Tron. I mean, let's have that armor that we need to have the best defense. And doing that, I mean, you is one of the things is supplementation, which is beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to talk about some other things that helps the lymphatic system. But here's some symptoms of why your lymphatic system would be stagnant, or here's some symptoms. And so really think about this. Okay, do you get frequent colds or infections? Do your wounds not heal? Okay, wound not healing, okay, means that your immune system is suppressed, but also you don't have a full functioning lymphatic system. You're not getting enough to that area. Puffy face or swollen lymph nodes. Well, lymph nodes, usually is a given. I mean, we can feel them, but guys, we have lymph nodes everywhere. Okay, we have them under, our arms, we have them in our groins, we have them in our stomach. There's lymph nodes in other areas, and so just because you don't have pain up here in your neck, but you might have pain underneath your arm, or somewhere, you could have a swollen lymph node in other places. My daughter in Georgia, she's a wonderful nurse, and she got a swollen lymph node in her groin. It never had happened before. Now she has an not an autoimmunity, but she got a virus after her second child was born, and so her immunity, she always has to stay on top of it. Well, she had this swollen lymph node in her groin. She said it was the most painful thing she had ever felt, and so immediately she calls, and immediately she's hitting the vitamin C. She even put castor oil packs. Castor oil packs are amazing whenever it comes to inflammation. We have a super powerful essential oil line, okay, that you can also ask your health coach to help you understand if you want to put something topically on. Okay. But another symptom is water retention or swollen hands and feet. Okay. Relate that to your lymphatic system. Okay. Let's start working on it first. Fatigue or brain fog. Who would have thought, um, you know, brain fog or fatigue would be because of my lymphatic system? I mean, who would have thought that? Skin issues like acne or rashes. Okay. Those are all symptoms that can come from having a congested or sluggish or, stagnant lymphatic system. Okay. So there's things that we got to do. Your lymphatic system is the bridge between detoxification, your immune system, and a healthy blood circulation. So just know that. Okay. It's the bridge. Okay. Think of it, because sometimes we focus just on the circulatory system. Okay. Sometimes we focus just on the detoxification system. But your lymphatic system is the bridge between the detoxification, immune system, your immune defense, and your healthy blood circulation. Okay. Now, here's some natural things that I like to also give my clients to help support their healthy lymphatic system. One is hydration. Okay, and let me just go down to this. Whoops, I got stuck. Am I stuck? No. Okay, there we go. Whoop, I went past. Okay. Here's some natural things that you can do. Okay. One, you can go get a manual lymphatic massage drainage, and there is experts out there that can do it. There's also where you can, learn how to massage your lymph nodes yourself. Okay. I don't suggest you need to get a YouTube video that, from an expert that actually shows you how to do that. Okay. But one is hydration. You got to have half of your body weight in ounces of purified water. And I always suggest that when you wake up, you have a room temperature water sitting on the counter. So I always fill mine up before I go to bed. And when I get up, I go to the sink, I cut my fresh lemon and I squeeze it in there and I drink it. That's the first thing I do. It aids in digestion, it aids in detoxification, and it's trying to work as a clearinghouse of what was stored the night before. Okay. So that's one good thing that is important to do. Next is movement. You guys exercise like walking, of course, running. I don't like to run unless somebody's chasing me, probably. But I am not a runner. I love to walk in nature. I will admit that. But I love rebounding. You guys, I have a mini trampoline, and when I put up my Christmas tree, I had to move it out of the living room, so it's in my bedroom. But I do 7 minutes in the morning. I do 7 minutes in the afternoon or evening. Okay, you guys, 3 minutes of rebounding stimulate your lymphatic system to where you're clearing out. Remember how I said that you have to have an upward motion for lymph. You want to increase it. And so the way you do that is you got to stay active. Okay. So walking, rebounding, stretching. Okay. Stretching also increases lymphatic action. Dry brushing. Okay. There is, and I can send you information on that if you want to send me an email. And I can actually send you these suggested tips. So if you just want to email, I can send this to you for free as well. Castor oil packs, they help to reduce congestion and also support detox. I'm a big fan of castor oil. I love that. I love mixing our essential oils with the castor oil, which is, it's just, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Okay. Top foods, leafy greens. Okay. Green leafy greens. And when I think about green food like spinach, kale, cabbage, I think about regulating pH in the body. Okay. And you guys, pH is necessary to reduce congestion. Okay. And so those are top. Cruciferous vegetables, berries, lemons, garlic, ginger, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, bone broth, which we have so much good, protein and collagen, which is so good whenever it comes to that as well. Bonus therapies are infrared sauna and Epsom salt baths, manual lymphatic drainage, like right here, and also the supplements like we were talking about. These are all very important for the lymphatic system. And here's some extra products just to take a snapshot because I'm not going to go over them. But these are all, Sta-Energized PLUS contains licorice. Licorice also is very lymphatic forward. It also has adaptogens. It helps with circulation, helps with focus. Core AO is another super antioxidant. Longevity's Herbal Rainforest. You guys, this is a detoxification, mineral and vitamin. It's I take Herbal Rainforest every single day, whether I feel like I need a detox or not. I love the Herbal Rainforest. I mean, but I love herbs. Okay, so maybe because it says herbal on the front, I don't know. The megas, you know, the EFAs, you guys, for inflammation. Um, and I put the de-stress on here because you guys, stress um, causes us to tense up. Okay, think about our lymph nodes. Okay, if you're continuously stressed, how can you have a lymphatic system that's trying to get the lymphatic flow? When I showed you the diagram of where all the lymph nodes are, okay, when you're stressed, when you're just tense, you guys, that creates a congestion in the body. Okay, breathing exercises, stretching. You have to be able to figure out where that stress is coming from and do things more that bring you joy. Okay, I am going to close out my screen share. And okay, I hope I enlightened everyone about their lymphatic system, how crucial and important it is. It's you guys, it is at least like Becca said, when she says, "Oh, I want that topic," because we never talk about it. We need to talk about it. Okay, we need to talk about it. We need to draw it out from detoxification, immune system. Because I try to cover all of them. We might have to do a 3-part series. I'm not sure, but it's so
Let's do
important.
it.
Let's do it. I mean,
Let's
I'm
do it.
telling.
Let's geek out on those ingredients.
I
Oh
love
yeah.
it. I love it.
I love it. I love it. And a lot of other people are loving it too. They love how you keep your slides up long enough that they can actually see what's on the slide and read all of the things. So I definitely want to get that slide that shows the lymphatic system. Also, the one with all of the alternative things that you can do to help yourself, like the lymphatic drainage, which I was really excited because I have never done lymphatic drainage before. And I had set up an appointment with Tim Marsh and his crew to have it done. And Melissa's like, I don't need it. I'm like, so then that's a good thing, right? Whenever they tell you you don't need lymphatic drainage, because that means things are moving the way they're supposed to.
That's really good.
But there's so much more that we can do, even supporting it. You don't want to just say, oh, I don't need any of that stuff. You want to continually support your body and every single function. Every single function. So we do have some questions. We have lots of comments. Olga says, I drink lemon water, squeezed whole lemon in a glass of lukewarm water first thing in the morning, and I take 2 capsules of ultimate enzymes with it. What does Dr. Laura think about it?
I think that's great because the ultimate enzymes, okay, especially taken on an empty stomach, is going to also try to remove the trash that's been held, but it's more of doing it just from the stomach aspect. Okay, the lemon water is going to take everything throughout the whole body, and the enzymes will make it there too, but they have to go through digestion. Lemon water, is more purification and works as more of a detoxification. But yes, those two can be taken together. Those are great. And you guys, with why I do lemon water by itself, or even apple cider vinegar. You guys, apple cider vinegar is another one that you could, put in to help that detoxification. So I have to dilute a lot of the apple cider vinegar for me. I mean, just because that's just me. But that works also to help to detoxify. And you guys, you will have, when you first started, Olga, and I know you've been doing it, so you probably already experienced it. But you guys, if it does a clean out, you guys don't worry about it. Your body needed to get rid of it. Okay, so if you drink it and then all of a sudden you're going to make your coffee and you have to run to the bathroom, guess what? Your body needed to get rid of that. Okay, so don't be alarmed. Don't think it's a laxative or something. It's trying to do exactly that. Get rid of it.
Absolutely. Now, Barbara has a question. Can anything be done for someone who has had lymphatic issues since birth?
Okay, so since birth is a little bit hard because they've been, not handicapped, but they've been held back to do extra things that could increase their lymphatic system, like movement. Okay. I think about extreme conditions with lymphatic, like you'll see, the elephant leg syndrome, or you'll see, heavy edema. And so, yes, I always think we can always improve. We can, we may not cure something, but we can always improve. And so, even doing the supplementation that we were talking about, changing the diet to support the immune system and not take away. Because you guys, what we eat, you have to say to yourself, am I putting it in? Is it going to help my body or is it going to destroy it? Okay. So cleaning up the diet, understanding, what they need to
Mhm.
help, and then all the alternative therapies, the lymphatic drainage, okay, infrared saunas, which infrared is a very neat alternative therapy that can help people, especially that don't have a lot of movement, okay, that they're more not bedridden or anything like that, because I'm sure this person since birth, it's not that, but he's just been held back, he or her. And so, yes, there's always, and so I would put him on this regimen. I would, do the alternative therapies, reach out on my email. I'll send you the free list of, supportive alternative therapies that can actually help increase and improve.
Awesome, fantastic. And I'm glad that you mentioned infrared saunas because I mentioned to my partner yesterday, like, I'd really like to get an infrared sauna. And now I can use this show to support that. So super
Absolutely.
excited about that. Now, so for those of you who don't know, on YouTube, AJ does a poll. Okay. And you have two choices. It is unanimous. Yes, Dr. Dennison is back. Woo! Instead of no, lymphatic system is fake news. That has 0%. So we've got a smart audience, Dr. Laura.
That is awesome. I'm so glad that, I mean, it's a little scary what AJ can put up on there, I'm sure. And so I'm glad it was clean, and you didn't ask very personal questions and take a poll on me. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's go to AJ with a question.
Dr. Laura, it is fantastic to see you. Thank you for being here. And I do have more questions than we have time for. But two of them you touched on. I need some clarification. So, what toxins disrupt our lymphatic system? You mentioned sugar, you mentioned oils. Can you just give us some more on that one? And I guess
Absolutely.
the second part of what you already discussed was you mentioned edema, swollen ankles. I got a friend that wears a red tie, has orange hair. He's got swollen ankles. I was wondering if you had some insight as to what might be occurring there.
Okay. Okay. So you guys, okay, I'm so glad that you mentioned that, AJ, because I didn't clarify. I just mentioned foods. You guys, there's so much other things that disrupts the lymphatic system. Okay. One is unhealthy bacteria. So fungi and mold, not having a healthy gut, okay, can also cause the lymphatic system not to be properly running. But these toxins that we breathe in, okay, you have to think about the detoxification pathways, your skin, your lungs, your organs, as far as your so our digestive tract, that goes with foods, especially, okay, and not having enough healthy bacteria. But even things that we put on our body, like soaps and endocrine disruptors, toxins, sprays, what we spray on our carpet, these are all chemicals that's going into our body that are toxins. These are free radicals. In our lymphatic system, sort of, it's got the little spyglass. Okay, this is what a lymphatic system makes me think of. it's got the little spyglass and it's going through the body and it's looking at all the organs and, give me your toxins, okay? And trying to remove it out of the body, okay? Well, when our body is stagnant, our liver holds on to toxins, our, tonsils or, our upper area holds on to toxins. And so the lymphatic system goes in and tries to remove those. So anything that's foreign, anything that, and we can get it from anything. I mean, from what we put on our skin to how we shampoo our hair to hair coloring, all these environmental poisons goes in the body and is a toxin. If your body is not, if it's stagnant or congested, it's going to hold on to those toxins. They'll get placed into the fat cells in the body, and all of a sudden you are, a soup of all these toxins, okay, that your body's been trying to get rid of. When you have a healthy lymphatic system, it is just beautiful. And when you have, just like Becca said, she goes and she goes for a lymphatic drainage, and he's like, man, your lymph nodes look pretty good. Well, she's been working really hard at staying healthy. And so, that's one of the key things. Okay, so that was your first question. And your second question, go ahead and repeat that. I apologize.
Okay, well, part of that same question is, so what happens if the lymphatic system doesn't drain? I mean, you touched on it, but is there a particular disease that can come from that? I'm steering you here.
Okay. So you cannot relate everything back to a disease with the lymphatic system. Okay. It's trying to remove toxins, but what happens is those toxins get settled. Okay, let's talk about edema. Okay, swelling of the feet and the lower limbs. Okay, it's in the dermal layer of the skin. Okay, it can't get rid of the fluid, so the lymphatic system wasn't working properly, and now it's storing all these toxins in the edema in the dermal layer of the skin. Okay. If the lymphatic system is working properly, it's going to try to remove those and get it moved up through the lymph, and it dissipates in the body. It gets rid of it, okay, through the liver, through feces. There's, whatever detoxification pathway we have, it's getting rid of it, okay. And so, so you have to have a good lymphatic system to be able to make sure that you're not getting these toxins stored that do increase to a disease.
So my friend with the orange hair and the red tie has probably got a poor lymphatic system.
Correct. Yes. And so, but you work on detoxification, okay? All the herbs, all the different vitamins, minerals, and everything, as well as working on the lymphatic system. Those two are key things, to be able to work together.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Were you done?
Yes.
Okay, so my second question is, on all of your bottles, your products, it says Genesis 1:29. God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed." I'm sure you could quote it better than me. Bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in which the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for your food or for meat, depending. Where do you grow your herbs? Why did you put this on your bottles?
Okay, so we are, and I'm so thankful, AJ. I just want to crawl in there and give you a big old hug because you guys, this was so important for us when we came over with Youngevity because it was such a powerful Genesis 1:29 for us to put on the label because these are medicinal herbs that God gave us, okay, from seeds to the trees to the plants. When you think about that, okay, in the translation, it says